Liverpool have appointed Andoni Iraola as their new head coach. Newcastle released 3 senior players. Everton have no concerns over the future of Ndiaye. Everton revive interest in Hayden Hackney. Manchester United CEO says the club will be disciplined in the transfer window. Here are your daily Premier League news headlines. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel and to another edition of the Daily Premier League News Headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. My name's Lee The Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share and comment in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Let's get into it. Liverpool have appointed Andoni Iraola as their new head coach. Iraola has signed a 2-year deal at Anfield and will succeed Arne Slot, who was sacked just a year after winning the Premier League. The process was being led by sporting director Richard Hughes, who appointed Iraola at Bournemouth in 2023 before he moved to Anfield the following year. I'm really excited, Iraola told the club's website, because obviously you know about Liverpool. You know that it's a big club, a massive club, one of the biggest in the world. But feeling inside and understanding a little bit more of this club, I always thought it's a special club. You don't need a lot of things to get attracted by Liverpool. Liverpool is Liverpool. But obviously, the atmosphere, the supporters, the club and the players, the chance for me to coach top level players, the chance to fight for titles, I think it cannot be more attractive than this. It's difficult to find it. So really excited to start. I can only say that I want to become one more of you. I want to earn the right to be one of you so we can enjoy it all together. Newcastle have released John Ruddy, Max Thompson and Matt Targett following the expiry of their contracts. The trio are the latest to exit the club following the departures of Kieran Trippier and Emil Kraft. Goalkeeping duo Ruddy and Thompson have moved on, while fellow shot-stopper Mark Gillespie will continue in his role in the squad for a further year. Targett spent last season on loan at the Championship Middlesbrough, having been one of Eddie Howe's first signings. He made 47 appearances following his arrival from Aston Villa in January 2022. Goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale will return to parent club Southampton following the culmination of his season-long loan. Ramsdale played 23 times in all competitions for Newcastle this season. Newcastle defender Fabian Schär has signed a new 1-year deal with the club. The 34-year-old's contract was set to expire at the end of June, but the Switzerland international will now enter his 9th season at St James Park. The centre-back is the second longest-serving player in the Newcastle squad, having arrived from Spanish side Deportivo La Coruña in July 2018 and making 251 appearances. No concerns over Ndiaye's future at Everton. Everton are not concerned about the future of Ndiaye, who is currently under contract until 2029. The club had previously held talks over an improved deal with nothing agreed yet. The Senegal international moved to Everton in July 2024 from French side Marseille. He has played 71 times for Everton in all competitions, scoring 17 goals. Ndiaye was also part of the Senegal side that reached the African Cup of Nations final earlier this year. He has been called up for the World Cup, with their opening game taking place against France, where Ndiaye was born. Everton have revived their interest in Hayden Hackney. They've revived their long-term interest in Middlesbrough Hayden Hackney. The 23-year-old has been on David Moyes' radar for a new defensive midfielder for some time. Everton are keen to bolster that position this summer, and Hackney is high among the names they are considering making a bid for. Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest have also monitored the England under-21 extensively. Forest had an approach for him not back in January, while the player turned down Ipswich last summer. He missed Borough's Championship playoff semi-final against Southampton because of injury. He came off the bench in the final to defeat Hull. And Manchester United CEO says the club will be disciplined in the transfer window, but have a clear plan to replicate last summer's strategy. United signed Cunha, Mbeno, Sesko and Lemons for a total of £170.7 million last summer. When Ineos took over football operations at United in 2023, Barreda revealed the desire for the club to win its 21st league title by 2028, the 150th anniversary of the club's founding. Having finished the 25-26 season in third and qualified for the Champions League for the first time since 2023, Barreda is confident Premier League success is close. Ideally, we do it next season. If not, the following season. I think we're in a good place. He said on Inside Man United, we've seen some really good progress on the pitch this season and we're going to continue building on that. Asked about what approach United would take to the transfer window this summer, Barreda believes the club have a clear plan. The template for what we did last summer will be replicated in many ways. He said on Inside Carrington, you always go into a window, you don't know what you're going to come out of it, but you have to be really prepared. You have to have a clear plan. You have to know exactly what positions you're looking to strengthen. We have to be agile and flexible, but we have a clear plan. Jason Wilcox and his team are very well set up to execute that plan. What we saw last season is a good way forward for us, which is we want to gain some experience in youth. We want to make some players that have demonstrated they can perform in the Premier League, and perhaps also with players that are doing very well outside of the Premier League. But we will always do it within the terms of our terms and ensure that whatever decision we take is not just for the short term, but also for the long term. We have to be really disciplined. It's simple. We have a plan. We know what we can invest and we have to stick to that. In some cases, we may decide to make an investment knowing that it's the right thing for not just the next 2 seasons, 3 years, but for the next 10 years. Barreda was also asked about the future of club captain Bruno Fernandes. The Portuguese playmaker was named Premier League Player of the Year and also claimed the FWA Football Writers Player of the Year, beating the likes of Arsenal trio Declan Rice, Gabriel and David Raya, despite their title win. Fernandes also bettered Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry's assist tally for a single season to set a new record for a single campaign with 21. The 31-year-old's future was subject to intense speculation last summer when he turned down a lucrative Saudi offer to stay at Old Trafford. I think in Bruno we have a fantastic captain, absolutely fantastic. Pressed on whether he wants him to stay at the club, United's chief said, "We'd like him to stay. Of course we do. He's had a great season on the pitch and more importantly, I think he's shown everybody that he's such a great leader. People don't see what he does outside the pitch and he deserves a lot of credit. We're going to continue investing in different ways of the areas of the club. There are other objectives off the pitch that we'd like to achieve as well. One of them is to be financially sustainable, to introduce commercial innovation in the club." So my thoughts on some of these stories. Well, Andoli Iraola going to Liverpool, that's a big move for the Bournemouth coach. He's going to find it a totally different scenario than he has at Bournemouth, where the expectation has been survival, to be honest with you. And going to Liverpool, where they are expecting to win the Champions League, win the FA Cup, win the Premier League, win the League Cup. All of those things have been set by Liverpool over the years. Going back to when I was a young man, Liverpool were always winning pretty much everything. So I think he's going to find that expectation a massive ask. And when you consider that Arne Slot won the league in his first season and still didn't survive a second season, it does just go to show how hard that's going to be for him. But, you know, I do wish him well. I hope he does okay, albeit not at the expense of Tottenham. I'm hoping, of course, that Tottenham get the opportunity to get back in front of Liverpool, where we were for many a season. Newcastle releasing lots and lots of players. Moving on, it's clear that Newcastle need to do a big rethink, a big clear out. The squad is fairly stale. It's been going on for a while. It needs some invention. They've kind of dropped off from the big expectations that they had. So it does make sense to me for them to clear out some of these spaces and give other players an opportunity to either come through or make space for new signings to come in. I think Eddie Howe is trying really hard to build something longer term there. So yeah, good for him. Everton's interested in Hayden Hackney. I think Hayden Hackney is one of those players that has attracted a lot of interest from lots of clubs. I mean, we talk in the thing about Forest and Palace being interested. But I think there's been some other clubs also interested. I think Tottenham have actually been mentioned in that as well. I think he is a bright prospect. And I don't think he's going to find it too difficult to find another club. I do think that Everton had a really good season last season, and I think if they can continue with that next season, then I think they will be able to attract a lot more of this young talent and stronger signings after many years of kind of struggling with mid-table to kind of lower levels, something that Tottenham are going through ourselves. So maybe a difficult ask straight away, but I think they can do it. Just picking up on the Manchester United story, I think the clear thing in this story, which kind of does resonate a little bit, is this issue of having a clear plan, knowing what you want, sticking to that plan, and having something that you can plan to go all the way through with. I think a lot of problems other clubs have had, including my own, have been short-termism, and I think it makes absolute sense to be looking at, not just this season or next season, but the season after that, the season after that, the season after that, to really build an ongoing legacy that's gonna last you. At the beginning of last season, there was no way was I expecting Manchester United to end up in third position. It just shows that once you get the right structure in, you get the right person, it can make such a difference to that season. And, fair play to them. They did turn it around. Manchester United, without doubt, are still a massive club with a massive draw and big expectations. And Michael Carrick has done fantastic there, to be fair. And it's going to make next season even tougher if they start to invest and invest in the right way. I'm absolutely sure they can be right up there again. And you've seen the emergence of Liverpool making different moves, and Newcastle having a bit of a change around. You cannot forget about Arsenal. You cannot forget about Manchester City with Pep going. So it's going to be an interesting season at the top for sure with these clubs looking to invest, but looking to invest in a longer term. I think Manchester United have done a lot of short-termism, and I think moving forward now, this makes an awful lot of sense for them going forward. So yeah, some interesting stories in there, and of course a final bit about wanting Fernandes to stay makes sense. He's been their club captain. He's done really well for them. He's not my favourite player, if I'm being honest, but for Manchester United, he's done what he's been asked to do, and and if it gives some stability, and like I say, they're looking for a mix of players, in terms of being youngsters, being experienced, and so on. Where we heard that before, it feels very much like that's what they're aiming to do, and having that experience there from such a big player, that does make perfect sense for sure. Anyway, that's it for today. So thanks for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment and subscribe. If you're listening on an audio platform, please follow, leave a review if you can. I'm Lee The Dorset Spur. I do have my own channel. If you'd like to pop across and give me a follow as well, that would be absolutely fantastic. So I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.